What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Neca God of War Kratos. Now, I have been really looking forward to this guy ever since I saw him online, so what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him open up, and then we'll go on to the rest of the review, so sit tight, everyone. And so here we have Kratos out of the packaging, so let's have a look at what he comes with. He does come with 3 accessories in total. The first one we're going to have a look at is his shield, because this is a really impressive accessory. Just zooming in on it, you can see all this really nice intricate detail on it. I'm really blown away by the amount of detail Neca was able to put into this. You can see all this really nice knotting of the Celtic design. Looks really cool. It's just really intricate. I do really love that. And it's not just the front part of the shield that's really intricate. The back part is just as detailed as the front, and I really do like the fact that they went the distance and actually did the inside of the shield as well. Something you may notice is that it does tab onto his arm with just this peg. And there's a peg hole right there, so when you attach it, you want to line it up. You can see there's a little... It's thick and then it's smaller right here. You want to line that up so that the smaller side is on the part where his hand is, and it should tab in just fine. Also, if you don't want to have him displayed with the shield, he does come with this little piece, and this is actually a plug to fill where the shield goes, and it looks really nice, really flush. At first I was trying to figure out how the shield went on, because at first looks, you don't even know where it's supposed to peg onto, and I really do like that. His next accessory, let's actually have a look at the dagger. Something I like is that he can store all his weapons, so that's a really big plus. I really do like the way this dagger looks. You can see they painted all the wrappings on it, so it's just this really awesome blade. That is a really nice dagger, and the sculpt work is phenomenal on it. His final accessory, you can see I do have it attached to his back, is the Leviathan axe, and it's also really well detailed. And something I do like about it is that there is a seam right here, but that seam isn't a mold line. It's actually where the axe comes apart and pegs together. And that's a really nice detail. I do like that. From a distance, you'll never see it, so it's one of those, I'm really grateful that they did the axe the way they did. You can put it in his hand easier than trying to shove this thicker part into it. And let's actually have a look at the details of the Leviathan axe. You can see the head. I believe this is a head. If not, I don't know. Oh, it is a head. It's a head of a dragon. I don't know why I couldn't see it from this side. It's a little more prominent on this side. And you can see all that carving and woodwork into it. Mine does have this little blemish of paint right there, but it's no big deal. And then just all this really nice craftsmanship in the axe. It's a really well done accessory, and you can see they even painted this part gold, as it should be. The top of the axe is also painted to match the wood texture, so I really do like that. And like I stated, if you want to have him hold it, the best way I found out to do it is to take the base of the axe and slide it through his hand, like so, and then take the top part of the axe, and you can have him holding the Leviathan axe, which looks really nice. I do love that. And Kratos is always impressive. So let's actually take a better look at Kratos and have a look at his detail. And Kratos is really well done here. You can see just the amount of sculpt work in his face is really nice. All the wrinkles in his face are also really nicely detailed. I'm just really blown away by the amount of detail on this figure. I do like the fact that it's not just a solid white, that there is some wash, or I don't know what technique they used in it. It looks like a wash, but it also looks like speckling, but it really does look the way Kratos does in all the God of War games, so I really do like that. You can see some gray in his beard. The paint is really nicely applied, especially on this red part, although you can see some of it is bleeding over right here. I really love the way his pauldron drapes over his shoulder. You can see all this really nice work in it. All that detail right here. Those rivets that hold the leather in place. And then we go on to the back where we have this fur. We have more leather on the pauldron, which it's done really well, and it is a separate appliance. It's not sculpted onto his chest, so if you want to move it around, you can, and it also gets out of the way. I like the fact that the right pauldron isn't one complete sculpt, that they actually did break it up right here. And then on this side we do have his gauntlet with the steel plates in it. On this arm we just have the leather wrapping, but a little detail that you really don't notice at first is the chains. You can see the chains of Olympus are still on his forearm. Really curious to see how that will play into the game, but only time will tell. As you would expect, Kratos also does have the scar from when he was stabbed by Zeus. I don't know if it... yeah, it does carry over onto the back right there, so I love the fact that it's also on the back and not just in the front. You can see his pouch is really well done. His little sheath to hold the knife is also well executed, and you can actually take the knife and put it in here, and that's one thing I do like about that. Let's see if I can't do that on camera. There we go. This sack, you can see it's sculpted and painted, so that's... I'm really giving props to Neca, because for a $20 figure, they did an excellent job on him. You can see all these straps are painted. They even have the gold on them. You can see his tassels from... I'm going to guess this is from all his previous games, so I'm really glad that this does carry over. His loincloth is done really well, and then all this texturing in his pants is also well done. So they did a really, really good job on Kratos here. So what we're going to do is actually compare him really fast to the previous Neca God of War figure. So sit tight and let's bring out the other Kratos. And here we have the new God of War figure with the previous God of War 3 figure. And you can see some really good similarities between them. Although I do feel like the God of War 3 Kratos was stylized to the game. And I am perfectly okay with that. The only problem I really had is that the tattoos were... they're too dark, where this one, it looks like it's perfect. Again, proportion-wise, they are more proportioned to their video games, and it's not realistic proportions, which they both do a really good job demonstrating that. So let's actually move Kratos off to the side really fast. Now, if you're wondering exactly how big Kratos is, let's actually get a figure in here just for a size comparison. And here we have Kratos standing next to the Multiverse Walmart exclusive Batman, and you can see Batman is tiny compared to Kratos. Kratos looks like a Build-A-Figure for the multiverse, except he's better articulated and has more detail. So let's actually go over his articulation really fast, because he does have quite a bit of articulation. If we can get the camera situated really fast so we can just move on to his articulation. Okay, there we go. Kratos has a really good ball joint in the head. He can look up really well. He can't really look down too... actually, you know what? He's actually looking down quite well. That actually surprised me. It looks like his head can move around on that ball joint, so that's really good. His head can tilt side to side, turns left and right. So overall, a lot of range in the head, and I really do like that. His arms are on a ball joint. They do both go out to about there. This arm isn't hindered on the outward movement, but when you try to rotate it, you can see it does butt up against that pauldron. So his arms do a full 360. Right arm is going to be a little hindered. He has a bicep swivel. Double jointed in the elbow, although they're really stiff on mine. If you feel it's a little tight, take a hairdryer to it to loosen up the joint. So double jointed elbow. And this is probably one of the best things about this figure, is that he has a hinging ball joint, so he can have inward movement, and we can turn that ball joint to have up and down movement. So import style joint at the wrist, I Was not expecting that. I was just expecting the standard Neca ball joint or even just a swivel hinge. But we can't get swivel there, swivel here, so a lot of articulation in that wrist, so that's really good. He has a ball joint in the waist, not up here in the torso, but down here in the waist. He can go back about that far, forward about that far, and it does turn. He can tilt side to side, which is really good. Legs do go out some way, but they are hindered by the loincloth, and that's about as far as I can get it before it starts stretching the plastic. Legs go forward and back. They swivel at the thigh. He is double jointed in the knee, and I really like the way his boot covers up that joint, and you can see he gets pretty good range almost all the way back. I do like that. When moving his knee forward, be careful that the boot doesn't get caught in that hinge. You can see it is a separate appliance, so it might get caught, so if it does, just be aware of that. He has a hinge in the foot, no rotation, but the hinge is a little bit stiff on mine, and it is hindered by the sculpt, but he does have a forward-facing pin for rocker ankle, and then he has a pretty decent toe hinge. It's not the best, but it is pretty good. So that's Kratos for you. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. So sit tight, everyone. So here we have Kratos posed for my final thoughts. Overall, this is a really well executed figure, and I can't be more happy that I have him in my collection. It actually did take me a while to track him down. I found him at a local comic book store, which ran me about $22, which is pretty good for Kratos. Overall, I really think the accessories are great. His detail is on par with everything you'd expect from Neca, and I really recommend you pick this guy up if you're a fan of God of War, or if you're just looking for a really great figure. This Kratos has very little things I can find wrong with him. Paint is going to vary figure to figure, so you might not have the same issues I have with mine, but the shield, the dagger, the axe, everything looks so nice on this figure. If you haven't already found this guy, definitely pick him up and add him to your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews. All my other Neca reviews are up, so go ahead and check those out while you're at it. As always, let me know if there's a figure you would like to see me review down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.